Olivero, and I am I practice high-level criminal defense, and I practice law. I'm also a certified divorce coach, and I brought that into the practice since I'm a divorce attorney. And so that's a little bit about me. You need a fun fact. I'm running out of fun facts, guys. I do these things too many times. Let's fact about me is that through junior high school, I twirled baton.
That is
Baton
amazing.
twirl is in the house.
That is amazing.
This must be Andy Zapata and a Friday if baton twirling is in the house. What's up, bro?
Mr. Sean, how are you, sir?
I'm doing
We're just
great.
getting started.
Let's go. Back to you. Awesome job. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Andy Zapata, the ZA in Zapata stands for Zone Action. You are the man. So what's up, bro?
Thank you, sir.
Please.
So we're just getting an introduction started. Siobhan started introducing herself and her unique identity. And I haven't had a chance to introduce you. So why don't you go ahead and do the honors and introducing who you are?
Yes. Thank you. But let me first say that I want to talk about you first. Siobhan, hello. Awesome. So Andy, the fact that you have built your organization to, how many franchises is it now?
So we're up to 40 locations right now.
40 locations. Extraordinary. And coming from starting that business on your credit card and implementing and taking action in such an extraordinary and continuous way, it's inspirational. And what are we doing here? My name is Sean Callaghy. I am co-founder of Unblinded. I'm also president and owner of Callaghy Law, 125-person law firm. And 23 years ago, thinking that sales and marketing were disgusting and horrible and the worst thing that anybody could possibly do, and definitely not why I went to law school, I realized that it could be that, but there could also be something incredibly different. Like there's the Wolf of Wall Street and Boiler Room on the left, but on the right-hand side, integrous, heart-centered influence, bringing truth against darkness is what makes great things happen in the world. So I have a lot to say about that and a lot of background in it, but that's the beginning for me. And my fun fact, actually, Andy, what's your fun fact? I'll drop it on mine, and later I'll talk a little bit more about influence and some of the things in my background. But what's your fun fact for today, Andy?
Fun fact is actually went in a roaring ocean a few weeks ago with a friend of mine called Sean Callaghy, half naked, like 40-degree weather, freezing. We lost some people on the way, but we were able to recover them and save their lives. But that's a crazy fun fact. Roaring ocean, felt like 6-foot waves crashing into the bay and into the beach. And it was crazy. It was scary, but we made it out alive. So thank you, Sean.
And that is a true story. My fun fact is I am a blind guy. I am blind. That taught a blind guy to surf probably in the last month and a half. I've been saying the last month for a couple of weeks, but the last month and a half. And I got back from surfing. And then in the last month, I surfed both in California and in New Jersey, and outsurfed a guy from Southern California in New Jersey. And that same guy from Southern California outsurfed me on his home turf in California. Keep be like, that's all great, but how do you know anything about influence? I'm one of only 2 attorneys in America that have 2 top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 16, me and a gentleman from California, and I'm the only one that was blind. I built a 40-person law firm in 2 years, exited it, starting on my credit card, 6 months out of law school when I started, $100,000 in debt, knowing nobody. And then I built a 125-person law firm and went from 0 to 100 in 2 years, the second time, which is currently Callaghy Law. And Unblinded, we've had our first event in January pre-COVID, and we have 1,500 people there. And this is the Real Raw Open, and this is our 247th Real Raw Open since COVID has begun. And the influence is a superpower. It is present here, and all that stuff doesn't matter a fraction as much as our amazing guests. So let's get to it.
Awesome. So what do we were just introducing Siobhan. Thank you, Siobhan. Let's go ahead and introduce Dr. Stephen Gorin. Dr. Stephen Gorin, I've had the pleasure of doing business with him for many years. One of the best orthopedic surgeons in Dade and Broward County that I know. He's a specialist at knees. But Dr. Gorin, I won't get into too much. Why don't you introduce yourself and a little bit about who you are, what you do, where you're at in the world, and a fun fact about you.
Oh boy, that's a lot to try to live up to there, Andy. Make it a little more difficult, could you? But I'll throw in the shoulder as well as one of my specialties.
That's right.
Don't forget that, because that's an area that I really like to look at. A fun fact, God, it's tough doing extra stuff. I'll just throw a little bit about myself that most people, and again, you already know this about me, is that I may not look, but I'm actually Colombian. And most people, and a lot of my patients look at me and go, "What? It's impossible."
That's why Andy likes you.
Exactly.
That is
It's
funny.
a shocking statement to people because they can't realize that a guy that like me, that looks like me, can actually be Latino.
Very cool. Well, Dr. Gordon, I can't see anything, so I'm blind.
Oh,
So,
good.
so what do
Well,
you?
you're the second blind attorney that I know.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
One of them was actually a very well-known young man who was on the Saved by the Bell second generation.
Very, very
His
cool.
name's Isaac Litsky.
Ah, he was a Supreme Court clerk. Yeah.
Yeah, my family's been close with his forever.
Yeah, I'm on the board of the American Foundation for the Blind. It's our 100th anniversary year, and I think there's some conversations with him around it. Number one, and number two, quick fun fact is an additional one that we have currently a certification in with the Supreme Court, and Justice Thomas just issued an opinion that seems quite analogous to what we're talking about. So we're hoping to be, I'm hoping to be arguing from the United States Supreme Court in early 2021 on an issue that affects the entire country in social media and all kinds of things. So yes, I would look forward to talking more, and welcome today. And please, anything else you want to share about you and your amazing world and what you're up to?
I'm up to work. Ironically enough, we've been very busy. Fortunately, even though with this coronavirus, our practices continues to grow because people decide to do things that they didn't do before Corona.
Yeah, well, and I'm sure
people going out and getting hurt doing exercising in ways that they weren't meant to exercise.
Well, and I'm sure it's growing because you do a great job in your leadership and your influence in your heart. And thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Andy.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and jump over to Mr. Zach, who I got the pleasure of meeting on LinkedIn. He answered my messages. Thank you, Zach, for that. I'm looking forward to connecting after this. But Zach, why don't you share a little bit about what's heroic about you, where you at in this world, and a fun fact about you.
All right. So a little bit about myself. I kind of had a interesting route after my law school graduation. I actually went straight into the medical field afterwards. So after I graduated from law school, I ran the largest imaging center in North Florida for about 2 years. Then I went ahead and became in-house counsel for an integrated medical practice. Then I ran a stem cell therapy clinic, pain management clinic. Then I worked for the largest third-party payer for workers' comp claims. Then I had to work for pharmacies, and now I'm working for a law firm where I can represent all those companies in one place.
Zach,
And
wow.
Yep, and then a fun fact about myself, Dolly Parton's my third cousin.
That is an awesome fun fact, Zach. And where's your practice now, Zach?
I'm here in Delray Beach now, so I've been here for about 3 or 4 months now.
Well, good for you, and welcome to the Real Raw.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Andy.
All right, let's jump over to Mr. John. Amazing, Zach. Thank you for sharing that. I can't wait to connect with you after this. And Jonathan, why don't we jump over to you since you just joined the call and tell us who you are, where you're at in this world, and a fun fact about you that I know many, but why don't you share with the group who you are?
How you doing, guys? My name is Jonathan. Jonathan Nieto. It's funny, a lot of people pronounce it Nito. It's not Nito, it's Nieto. Yeah. Oh, I'm actually half Cuban, half Colombian, so I didn't notice Steven was also Colombian, which is cool. But so anyways, a little bit about myself. Single father of 3. I work. I'm a business owner. I pretty much am in the business of helping other corporations grow and increase profits. And what I mean by that is really, I own a marketing firm, video production studio. We're very big on video production and marketing, just helping businesses grow and amplify their message.
Well, Jonathan, welcome. And the Real Raw has been a very fun and experiential marketing hack. So look forward to getting to know you better and seeing what we can co-create in the space. And how about a fun fact?
Fun fact about myself. I'm also a musician. I used to make music for, actually Pitbull was one of the persons that got me into his studio. I used to make music for his team when I was a little younger. But yeah, that's a fun fact about me. Dude, I still play piano though.
That's awesome. And I've had the privilege of speaking on Tony Robbins' stage and 7 of the last 9 events there. And Pitbull has presented concerts during some of Tony's events lately. So they've developed a relationship. So.
Actually, Sean, I've seen you at Tony Robbins events. I've seen you on stage at his events before. I was at UPW this year when Pitbull performed, actually, which was funny. But yeah, I remember you. I clearly remember you from Tony Robbins events, and you've been pretty inspirational, man. So it's a pleasure to meet
you, brother. I didn't know you had that connection. So how did you end up here today, if I could ask?
Well, Andy, it's funny. I went to high school, the same high school Andy's wife goes to, or went to, not goes to, sorry.
High school. What's going on?
No, I meant to say, went to.
It's only 17, man.
So yeah, no, we went to the same school, and I've known her for a while, and I've actually, I've been seeing Andy, he's been having pretty good success in business, and I definitely admire seeing other business owners and other business owners that are just playing business at a different level that I am. I love to learn, and I just draw a lot of inspiration from him, so I kind of connected with him on that level.
Wow.
But that's what brought me here.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here and for what you're doing in the world. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Really nice words. I appreciate that. So we'll go over with Bethel, who's actually right next to me. He's going to be one of our judges today. And then we'll go over to Armando, who most of you guys know, because he's been on all of my Real Raws, and he's an amazing judge. But we'll go over with Bethel. Bethel, why don't you say hi and what you're doing in this world and a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm currently in St. Pete. I am... I'm currently in St. Pete. I live in Asheville, North Carolina, and I have another house in Fort Lauderdale. I run shop for Andy, and my background, I worked for American Express for over 10 years, and I was part of the same camp that Jonathan was part of back in the days with the whole Pitbull and our studio that I had with Cubo, and nothing, just having fun. Fun fact about me, I like snowboarding.
Very cool.
There it goes.
Where's your favorite place to go snowboarding, Bethel?
Well, right now, the only place that I've been to is up in North Carolina. I've been to like Sugar Mountain. There's a Cataloochee, which is like 10 minutes from my house. So I have like a season pass there. And the moment I moved up, I took like 5 or 6 months off, and all I was doing every single day until I got the hang of it was just like snowboarding every day. The lady was like, why don't you get a season pass and just buy your own equipment? I was like, you know what? That's an idea. So after that, I just got totally into it. Now I own personally 3 snowboards. My kids got snowboards. Everybody's snowboarding down the mountain. My wife's the only one that's still she hurt herself a couple of times, so she quit, but everybody else is still snowboarding.
Well, very cool. Welcome today, and not too many better things to do in the world than be with your kids on a snow mountain or under the ocean. Beautiful stuff. Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Andy.
All right, and then we'll go over last with Armando. Last but not least, we'll go with Armando. Armando, who are you and what are you doing in this world? Fun fact about
you. Hi, guys. How's everyone doing? Happy Friday, first of all, for everyone.
Hey, Armando.
Happy Friday.
Good seeing you again, Sean.
Seeing you.
Good seeing everybody on here. Friday, it's a great day. Have my son. I just picked up my son. Just a little insider about me, something fun. I bet some of you didn't know that I did martial arts for 11 years and I'm a 2nd-degree black belt. I'm also a United States referee licensed as well. I don't practice it anymore, but I do visit my sensei from time to time.
Very cool. And Armando, what martial art?
It's Taekwondo.
Beautiful. That's awesome, man. So from one Taekwondo guy to another, that is awesome stuff.
Oh, you did Taekwondo as well?
I did for 4 years. I didn't reach my black belt. I was a red belt.
Awesome. Good for you.
Yeah. So, well.
Awesome.
Cool. Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're good. Amy already got a chance to introduce herself. So why don't we get started, Sean?
Let's rock and roll, man.
Shaban is going to be our role player. So we'll let Shaban do the role play. Why don't we start with Jonathan? And
do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for? I watch people get stuck and frozen. And that breaks my heart. I was once stuck and frozen too. Greatest superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people.
And they're gonna grade you from 1 to 10, and we're gonna give you some amazing feedback, and let's see if how you do. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, my friend. Shaban. So who do you want Shaban to be?
Shaban, can be yourself.
Oh, perfect.
Oh.
All right,
That's easy.
Shaban, that's gonna be easy for you. All right, ready, set, go.
Hey, how you doing? What's your name?
Hi, I'm Shaban. How are you?
Very nice to meet you. What brings you to this restaurant?
Well, just looking to grab some dinner. Needed to get out for a bit and stop working. So that's why I'm here.
Awesome. So you're networking here with everyone else? Are you part of the networking? Awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. I'm surprised. I'm surprised a lot of people are out because of the whole coronavirus thing going on. But we're the safe ones. But what do you do? What do you do for a living?
I'm an attorney.
You're an attorney. Wow, that's great. I've actually worked with several attorneys in the past. What kind of law? What kind of law do you practice?
I do criminal defense and family law.
Criminal defense and family law. That's awesome. I'm curious. What made you get into it?
What made me get into criminal defense, or what made me become a lawyer?
Well, actually, what made you become a lawyer?
No, there's no big wonderful story about that. Just when you're in like kindergarten and they say, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I went, "I'm a lawyer." So that's what I did. So.
Wow, that's that's good. I mean, I wanted to be an astronaut when I grew up, but it never panned out that way. But listen, I know you're busy. I don't want to take up too much of your time. It's funny. I actually work with attorneys in the industry that I'm in. I actually help attorneys get more clients, get more cases. Maybe we can set up a meeting sometime next week, and we can discuss how what you're doing, and see if maybe I can help support your process. That sound okay? Okay to you?
Yeah. What do you do to help them get more cases?
Got it. So I own a video production and a marketing and advertising firm, and our job is to make sure that you get enough eyeballs on your ads, and we amplify your message and help you network with the target audience of your choice. Like I said, we do that with several attorneys, and I'd love to show you what we're doing, how we're helping them grow their business and become more profitable. I think ultimately, at the end of the day, you'll come away with some valuable information that you can use to help grow your business regardless. But I'd just love to just have a conversation with you at some other point. I don't want to take up more of your time today. Does that sound fair?
I'm always willing to have a conversation with somebody to see what's involved.
Awesome. Okay. So, well, I'll reach out to you. What I'm assuming you have a business card.
I do. Yeah. Here you go.
All right. So I'll reach out to you and set something up for how about next week, Monday. Does that work for you?
Yes, I'm pretty.
Awesome. I'll send you an email. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks. You too.
All right. Wow, that was perfect. Let's go ahead and how'd that feel for you, Jonathan? Or
Yeah, I mean, it was a little nerve-wracking today for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's because Sean's here. I don't know. I'm usually pretty natural.
Great job,
It's
Jonathan.
pretty good, actually. All right, we'll go with our judges. Armando, please tell us what you think was great, what you think could maybe improve a little bit, and grade it from 1 to 10.
Well, it's hard to rate Jonathan. He's not new to the block here, but I got to tell you, he was a little bit nervous. He did bid some of the rapport was being built there. The only thing is he didn't get into it too deep, which is fine. I think in the back of his head, he was thinking about the 3 minutes. So I think that's what stopped him to get deeper into the conversation. Other than that, he was sincere. He executed. He got a next time appointment with her. They connected. And he did what he needed to do. How much I graded probably 7.5, 8. Let's say an 8. Room with improvement.
Awesome, Armando. Well, thank you for that. Great feedback, Sean. Anything over to you, sir?
Yeah, you know what? I think Jonathan did a fantastic job. I might illustrate something in a couple of minutes, Andy. So
Yes.
I'll maybe hold it until then, if that's okay.
Perfect.
Yeah,
All
awesome.
right. And then let's go over to, thank you for that, Armando. Great feedback. And let's go over to Bethel. Bethel, how'd you feel about that?
I thought he was. I thought he was sounded sincere. I think. Okay. I thought he sounded sincere. I thought that because of time, he was pressed, where he kind of had to jump into getting the information out and just getting her, to give him basically an opportunity to get back to him. But he just got nervous, just a little bit of nerves. I think it was like an 8. At the end of the day, he did good.
Great feedback. Thank you so much. Jonathan, how'd that feel for you with those reviews, with those feedback?
No, on point, Dave. The nerves got to me for a little bit. I'll be honest. Yeah, no, I mean, in a natural setting, obviously, I'd be a little more calm and composed. But yeah, no, spot on.
Yeah. You know what? Let me jump in real quick then, Jonathan. So Jonathan, if you were to share with everybody here, what makes you like truly unique? Like what's the thing you're most proud of, most confident in that you could deliver for people in working with them? Like what are you most confident, most proud of?
Probably the fact that I truly care about results, about getting people results and helping them, like, get more money, get results. I truly care. I think, I care about my clients as if, they were partners. I don't really see myself as a provider of services. I see myself as a partner. That's the kind of relationship I like to have with my clients, which I find is, missing in a lot of businesses, at least within my industry.
And agree, brother. And why do you care? Like I feel it, but why do you care? Like why does that matter to you?
Because I know what it's like to struggle, and I know what it's like to want to be somewhere and not know, or feel stuck and not know what the next appropriate course of action would be. I come in with my business and I look at what's going on, and I take a more of a consulting role at times, or I'll tell them, I'll look at their current marketing strategy, just find out what they want, but at the same time try to give them what they need.
All right, pause. So Siobhan, what number on a scale 1 to 10 would you say your gravitational pull was to Jonathan before that little alteration and then after?
So before, just based on our conversation, realistically, it was probably about a 6. I mean, I'm true that I'm not, I will sit down with anybody and hear your conversation, but what I didn't say out loud, but what was in my gut was when you said, I'm a marketer and we do video production, was like, ugh, great, another marketer. Because,
Yeah,
over by so many marketers. So yeah, starting with like why I shouldn't think another marketer is coming at me, and setting it apart. But yeah.
and then what did you feel after, like just right after this moment?
So after that moment, I'd be probably closer to an 8, 8.5, just, by setting yourself apart, knowing that you really care about the results, and that's what your focus is, because there's not a lot of marketers that I feel like out there that they care about the results. They just want to take my, $5 or $8 or $10,000 a month, and who cares if I'm getting results from it. So.
Yeah. And I think, and the key distinction is, right, it's 7% of our communication is our words. 38% body language, 38% vocal qualities, 55% body language, 93% of our communication falls in those other 2 categories. So it's not just what Jonathan said in the second part, it's also how he said it. And he said, because I know what it's like. And when he said it, I know what it's like that's where authenticity resonated. Now, what I think he could also do, right, is in the first part is to reach more deeply and authentically in his listening into Siobhan and really support her in feeling seen, heard, and that what she says matters. So, for example, Siobhan, if we're to move into like on what level would you say you felt in the first round that you were seen and heard and what you said mattered? Scale 1 to 10.
4.
Yeah. And so if that becomes an 8, then, or not a 9, then that back piece of what just happened even elevates. And you go, well, why does all this matter? Because communication isn't linear. And I'll just do this for 1 second, then back to you, Andy. You know, when I hired 4 people a long time ago after I sold my first law firm in 2003 and began a training company to schedule sales meetings with corporations, the first person that came in booked 0 meetings. The second person that came in booked 0 meetings. The third person that came in booked 0 meetings. And they all said the same thing, or some version of, it's just the marketing materials aren't right. These aren't the right people. The program isn't right. Right. And there was a fourth guy though. And the fourth guy scheduled 30 meetings in the same 2 weeks, 30. His name was Greg DiPietro. And in those 30 meetings, right, if we know math a little bit, there's no number you can multiply times 0 to get to 30. So Greg wasn't better in a linear way. He wasn't better in an exponential way. He was better in an infinite way than those other fine folks, not as a human being, but just in his ability to go from hello to yes. These micro distinctions are not just the difference between making $100,000 or $50,000 and $100,000, right? They're the difference between people who make $50,000 and $50 million, because that's a range of income and more that exists in the United States. And that's what's at stake: our money, our time, and our magic. So great job, Jonathan. This is what we're exploring. Thank you for your courage and vulnerability. Andy, back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Amazing feedback. We appreciate that. And why don't we go next with Jonathan? Thank you so much. You're a rock star. We're going to get you. We're going to practice. And I'm here with you, my friend. I love you. Let's go ahead with Zach Simpson. Zach, how are you, sir? I see you moving around on your way to Tampa. You're on mute. You have to unmute yourself. I see you on your way to Tampa on the way over here.
Oh, no, not yet. So I'm actually on the way to meet the girlfriend and get in her car. So I'm just in the back of an Uber at the moment.
Awesome. Well, Zach, thank you again for being here. Why don't we go ahead and go 3-minute round with Zach. Zach, we're going to try to go from hello to yes in 3 minutes. You're going to get to pick who Siobhan is and where you're meeting her. And we're going to do a little role play on, and we're going to have 2 judges. We're going to have Bethel and we're going to have Armando judge you on connectivity, listening, and also we're going to give you a quick feedback on how they think you did and how you can do better. You ready?
Perfect. Yep.
All right, my friend. Well, you got 3 minutes, and who do you want Siobhan to be?
Siobhan can be herself.
Awesome.
Perfect. And you guys are actually neighbors, so that's great.
Playing today. All right. Do we know each other, or have we never met?
It can be either one. It doesn't matter.
Well, it's your role play. It's up to you.
Sure, we can go with we know each other, but I don't know much about your firm yet.
Okay. Perfect. All right.
Perfect. All right. Ready, set, go.
Hey, Siobhan, it's great seeing you again. So I know you're a criminal defense attorney. So I guess tell me a little bit more about your client base and types of cases you handle and who you represent exactly.
Well, on the criminal defense side, my client base is all predominantly court appointed. I do high-level criminal defense. I represent guys that are charged with murders, attempted murders, and those facing the death penalty. So generally, those guys are, not retaining attorneys. I'm on the court-appointed list for those. So I represent mostly court-appointed cases on that.
Okay. Do you handle any white-collar crime, or do you represent anyone in the medical field at all for DUIs or fraud violations or anything else at all?
I do. So I do some DUIs. I've represented some white-collar stuff. I do federal court as well. Predominantly federal court's court-appointed, but, I've had a couple of routine cases in that also. But, so yeah, I do I do a ton of DUIs. I've done just hundreds of those. So.
Handle the DUIs. I like to work hard, party hard a little bit as well. So typically, do you handle, like, let's say, for example, with a doctor, do you handle the board of medicine issues along with that, or typically only handle just the DUI itself?
So you're going out a little bit on the phone, but I think I got what you said. If I handle the board of medicine, I haven't. Can you hear me? You're frozen, so I don't know if you're there.
Oh, I think we're losing Zach.
We're losing you. Let's see.
There you are. All right, let's go.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. So for specifically for I haven't handled a board of medicine for doctors. I've handled some nursing cases for nurses. I've handled board of education for teachers. So I've handled some administrative side, but not specifically for doctors.
Yep. Yeah. Well, the nice thing, as you know, is since I'm a corporate healthcare attorney, all we strictly do is represent medical providers. So we have extensive experience working with the board of medicine, board of nursing, board of chiropractic, anytime there's any issues at all. So typically a lot of criminal attorneys want to refer things over to us because they want to handle the criminal side. Then we need to protect their license. So if you have a chance, I sit down with you, talk some more about, how we can assist with you, be a point to answer any questions you might have, because typically with these situations, there's a lot of nuances people aren't typically aware of.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'd love to be able to sit down and meet with you and see what we do to work that out and have that as a benefit to some clients coming through those issues.
Okay, perfect. We also have many clients who call us for criminal matters, which we don't handle. So we can arrangement.
All right. Sounds good.
Awesome. Zach, that was amazing, my friend. Thank you so much for participating. How'd that feel for you, Zach?
Fine. I mean, it's not bad. Typically, usually when I meet people, it's more them calling me for questions versus me pitching it as much. But it's not too bad.
Dude, you did amazing. I'm gonna let the judges go in there and tell you a little bit about what they feel and what they think. Armando, we'll start with you, sir. Then we'll jump over to Sean, and maybe you can close this one up. So, Armando, how did you feel?
Zach, thank you for joining in. Thank you so much. I know you're busy and stuff like that. Just FYI, I mean, the only thing I could say you were missing was building a connection at the very beginning. You went right into your job, right into the job between both of you. So that's the only thing I feel that there was missing, that rapport, building a rapport from the beginning. If you have anything planned for the weekend, how was the week so far? Something to connect with one another. I think it's something you need, something like that in order to break the ice. So it's just not another marketer or another person just pitching in. So other than that, of course, you got the job part perfect. Everything else, you nailed it 100%. Everything else was perfect. But if I could get to grade this, I'll grade this a 7.5 with a little room to improve.
Thank you, Armando.
Yeah,
Great
perfect.
job.
I appreciate that.
Great job, Armando. And does that ring for you, Zach? A little bit?
It makes perfect sense.
You're the man. Thank you for being open and vulnerable, my friend. All right, we'll jump over to Bethel. Bethel, how'd you feel about that, sir?
Well, I thought it was I thought a little different from Armando. I understood that he already knew her, so yeah, the report could have been like he could have cracked a joke here and there and started off a little bit like that, but I felt like he purposely went into business. He still sounded fun while he did it, and at the same time, I like the fact that he was knowledgeable about all his stuff, and he closed it off really well. I think personally, I like his style. I like the way he approached everything. I would give him a 9.
Boom. All right. Thank you for that, Bethel. Sean?
I
Anything
think
on that?
Yeah, no, I think
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Wait a second. Oh, my fault. No, it's my fault. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah.
Zach.
A little piano. The exact job. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Outstanding job. Again, yeah, a little bit deeper rapport. I think could have been certainly always optimized, dropping a little bit further into heart versus head. But of course, this is new for a lot of folks, and you did a wonderful job. So everything, I think a key takeaway is the difference. If you were to watch a Hall of Fame baseball player in a batting cage, and I've had that privilege, and I've watched major league players in a batting cage, and then you were to watch a major league all-star, a major league starter, a major league reserve player, a AAA starter, like these micro distinctions that could be so virtually imperceptible, like to the unmasterful eye, make extraordinary differences. So everybody here is clearly successful, clearly a rock star. The things that we're speaking into are tiny micro distinctions that make extraordinary differences. So excellent job. And Andy, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Sean, for that. And Siobhan, how'd you feel about that conversation there?
I think I will echo what everybody has said so far. You know, it was more, head-to-head conversation and didn't get into the heart level of the rapport building, which when we're coming into the conversation as having already known each other, you can jump right into, getting into a little more heart conversation right away than when you're meeting somebody from the start. So, I would have just gone, asking even something about, even though you actually really don't know me, but hey, how's the family or how's the kids going or anything like that, to start into a little bit more personal rapport building before jumping to the business.
Boom. So exactly like Sean's saying, those micro distinctions will take us exponential growth in our business and our life. So thank you, Sean, for making that clear. And we'll go over to Amy. Amy, how are you? You want to unmute yourself?
Yes.
All right,
Sorry.
there you go. So Amy, it's your time to role play, and Siobhan is going to be whoever you want Siobhan to be. She can be an attorney, she can be a doctor, she can be whoever you want her to be. And we're going to go from hello to yes in 3 minutes, and we're going to judge you on connectivity, listening skills, and how did you do from going from hello to yes. And we'll let you choose where you meet Siobhan and who she is.
Hi, Shaban. So I would like for you to be a doctor, and we can meet for happy hour, dinner, somewhere.
All right. Have we met before? So do we know each other?
Yeah, we've been introduced before.
Okay. All right.
First time.
All
Okay.
right.
Take us
So you
in.
have 3 minutes. Ready, set, go.
Hi, Shaban. How are you? It's so nice to see you again.
Hi, Amy. It is nice to see you again. I'm great. How are you doing?
Doing good. I'm doing good. Happy to be out finally on a Friday night, enjoying the weekend. How's your family doing? How's everything going?
The family's good. It's been crazy busy at work, so I haven't gotten to see them a lot. But overall, the family's good. My son, he's older. He's 20. He doesn't come over very much.
Oh, wow.
He lives with his girlfriend. So, but overall, he's doing really good.
Is business picking up a little bit more after, with the COVID situation? Are you seeing more patients, or it's still a little slow?
Seeing a lot of patients, but still doing it through like telehealth a lot of times, when we can try to avoid them coming into the office, unless it's something really urgent that we need to see them for. We're still doing it by Zoom and kind of the telehealth meetings that we can do.
Well, as you know, I work with physical therapy now, and I mean, actually, our locations are filling up a lot more. Where we were doing a little bit more telemedicine, we're actually getting a lot more patients into the therapy center. And I wanted to see if it was if you were interested in maybe coming by one day. I can give you a tour of one of our locations so you can see how everything works, and maybe you can start sending us some referrals.
Yeah, I can come by. So what are you really looking for? Like, what's the best, what would be the best kind of patients that you'd be looking for that you guys deal with?
Well, post surgery, this is where I get so nervous. You're an orthopedic doctor, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
So any of the patients that you have, I mean, really, we do all different type of therapies, and I would like you to come to the center and check it out.
Okay. Yeah, I can come by and check it out. So yeah, we can do that.
Thank you. That's it. I get nervous. I can't.
Amy, you are an amazing individual. You are a rock star. You get patients left and right, hundreds of patients from doctors. The reason we invite you to this Real Raw Open is, like Sean just said, those micro distinctions are going to exponentially scale the amount of business you're going to be able to get for now, and grow what we're doing here. So it's just micro tweaks, but we know you're a rock star. I've seen you in action. That is not you.
Because I like the one-on-one. I feel like when there's so many people looking at me, I shut down.
Okay, so real quick,
that is my problem.
Yeah. So ready?
Go ahead.
Amy, what is your story about when there's a lot of people? What is your story about what's happening?
What do you mean?
Yeah, you said you shut down when there's a lot of people. So what's your story? What does it mean to you when there's a lot of people?
that I get judged,
Yes.
that I might say the wrong thing, or yeah, that I get
Yeah.
judged, and just saying either something wrong or saying too much information.
Yeah.
So I shut down.
Okay. And so that means you're getting into your head,
Mm-hmm.
you're making up a story. Because in fact, can anybody actually judge you? Just like really, like, can anybody actually judge you? They might have opinions and say words, but are you actually being judged? And what does that mean to you? And I'm asking rhetorically, because here's the story. The story is that everything is just a story, right? So everything
Right.
is a story. There's no rejection, there's no failure. It's all just a story. And you're amazing. Are you not? Or like, Amy, are you amazing?
I think I'm amazing.
Yeah. You don't think so. You know so. Do you know that you're amazing?
I know. So
Yeah. So, right. So whatever else is going on, what you're doing is you're just assessing things. Like, what's a fun game that you just have a really good time playing? Like, you're in your heart, it's super simple. Like, ever in your life, is there ever a game you've played that's super simple, super easy, or thing you like to do that you kind of just didn't flow and it's all good?
you're asking me the game?
Yeah.
Categories. I used to love categories.
Okay. Did you worry about being judged in categories?
No, I was worried about winning.
Yes. But I'm going to bet you weren't worried about winning. You were just there to win. And you were in the flow and you're doing your thing, right?
Correct.
And then if you weren't winning, all you're going to do is you're going to figure out and innovate ways to make sure you won, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in a conversation, it's the same thing, except it's not about winning and losing, right? What's at stake is just the revealing of truth. It's just a real.
Right, but I got caught off guard when she's like, "What type of patient?" Well, I mean, so that's where I was like, "Well, hold on, it's physical therapy," you know. So that's where I just got a little bit thrown off. I think at that point.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then I was like, "Wait."
Well, here's what happened. I'm going to give you a supportive dynamic. You
Okay.
didn't get thrown off. You
Mm-hmm.
got into your head.
Okay.
That's all. And you started thinking. And then you got out of role. Fair?
Correct.
Yeah. So just
Correct.
stay in. So just,
Right,
yeah.
because I feel like the beginning I was fine. I was talking, you know, and then all of a sudden she asked me a question and I was like, yeah, I didn't have the answer. Like it wasn't the way I thought the flow was gonna go. And then yes, I got into it.
Right. And if you don't have the answer, right, is that really a big deal? So let's do just really quickly. Let's drop in on that. So,
But I feel so this is where I say, so if I'm one-on-one and I really don't have like the right answer, I can kind of tell you, right? We're having a conversation and I can just kind of like answer it without being correct or wrong. But when there's other people watching that might know the answer, then that's where I get caught off.
yeah, because what you're doing is really quickly, and there's no blame or judgment. It's all good, but you're making up a meaning. We do that all the time. I do it, you do it, we all do it, right? But we can interrupt that pattern and say, like, yeah, we don't have to tell ourselves the story that if I don't know the answer and people do, they're going to start thinking this and that, like out of our head, just being present with our message, our heart. And if you don't know the answer, you'd be like, hey, you know what? I don't know. It's a great question. I don't know that, but I'll get that answer for you. You know, shortly, I'll check on it. Like, there's no need to go into what are people thinking, right? And you can break that pattern by realizing that you have the opportunity, the privilege, the ability to speak publicly in front of people with immense confidence, certainty, and power, just like you do speaking to people one-on-one.
I'll be honest, I don't mind public speaking. I can speak to a room if I'm the one speaking. Does that make sense? It was just like, I guess, in the dialogue format where I don't like, where I get uncomfortable with. But I can speak in front of a room about anything at any time. I don't have a problem.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with public speaking.
No problem. So you said, but you have a problem speaking in front of people earlier, right?
If it's one-on-one and there's other people around, yes.
Okay. So I'm going to pause there for the sake of time, but all I'm sharing with you is that that's just a story. And as amazing as you are at public speaking, as amazing as you are at one-on-one speaking, you are equally amazing at speaking one-on-one with people watching. And it's just a story. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Andy.
Thank you, Sean, for that clarification and micro distinction.
Thank you.
As always, it's amazing to have the team here and have Sean here as well.